Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, I have a question for the main audience of horror fans. When you think of horror, you casually think of your Friday the 13th, Halloween, maybe even some Nightmare on Elm Street, Paranormal, The Exorcist. Some of you might even be more elaborate and think of films such as Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Trick or Treat, Gremlins, but going to one of, if not the most well-known films, Halloween, shows the serialization of the slasher genre. It was the start of the genre for a whole cast of fans to enjoy and also help leave their mark, like Jason, Freddy, Chucky, Ghostface, Leatherface, and of course, the most iconic of all time, Michael Myers. These brutal killers gained their status by their incredible displays of gore and violence in grotesque ways, which are displayed heavily for the viewers to witness in these films. Now, you may be reading this title and be either confused or think you know the answer to the question. So, to shut down some people's ideas of the answer, it's not the film Psycho. Though considered a slasher, I'm talking more towards what's considered the modernized slasher genre of films. For some background to that film, Psycho, created through the brilliant mind of Alfred Hitchcock, is in the 1960s a really acclaimed film and considered to be some of the best adaptations of the horror slasher genre for its time, and technically, if you would like to consider it, it would be the first slasher ever made. But Halloween isn't the first modernized slasher of this genre, like many do believe. Halloween, made in 1978 through the mind of John Carpenter, tells the tale of babysitter Laurie Strode fending off her younger brother Michael Myers, turned serial killer, starting the Babysitter Killer franchise and humongous inspiration for mass serial killers in these films, inspiring the likes of Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Scream, and more. But what if I told you John Carpenter not only wasn't the creator of the first modernized slasher, but was actually friends with the creator who was? John Carpenter got direct inspiration, and Halloween was actually considered to be the unofficial sequel of the film and technically first modernized slasher, Black Christmas, made in 1974, a whole 4 years before the first Halloween film. The film was created through the mind of Bob Clark, a friend of John Carpenter, who would later inspire John Carpenter to make the film Halloween. The film Black Christmas starts as a girls' sorority party for Christmas, where one by one these girls get taken out by a mysterious figure of a man we don't really get to see fully, but we get bits and pieces of his face and also eyes within the shadows, as he clearly is suffering from a mix of mental conditions and post-traumatic stress disorder. This man brutalizes these girls, leaving some trapped in the attic dead, their rotting corpses of very intense, brutal kill scenes being displayed throughout the whole film. While everyone knows of the killer being on the loose, the biggest question is where the killer currently is. As final girl Jess Bradford, who the fuck has the name Bradford? Honestly, these writers in the 70s, man, I swear to God. Anyways, Jess has the worst night of her life, having to escape the serial killer in narrow scenarios as her douchebag boyfriend, who is very pro-life apparently, appears out of nowhere to talk to her, gets murdered, and she becomes unconscious as the police arrive to save the day, I guess. Even though they're mad late, everyone assumes the boyfriend is the murderer as they leave Jess alone to sleep in the house, thinking they caught the guy. Little did they know, Billy, the killer, was still in the house to finish the job he started. Through the film, we see Billy use the shadows and dark spots, avoiding revealing his true face in the film, which are techniques heavily used by Halloween's Michael Myers in their films. Also demonstrating some clear inspiration for the Scream films, using pig sluts and other pig terminology. Clearly playing around with the telephone loophole in the film leads to sort of these mixtures within well-known horror icons, a clear inspiration from the film Black Christmas, which isn't as appreciated as these other horror icons, but she's given the same recognition. So even though this video may not do much for the movie, you should watch it if you haven't already, and then you'll be able to say that you watched technically the first slasher ever made. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for the inconsistent posting schedule. Hope it hasn't been too confusing, but a little update for the CC channel. We are starting applications around this weekend to join us in our voice acting videos. So if you want to check that out, stay tuned on the YouTube community tab or CC Pizza Insta linked in the description below. Until next time, Cosmic, signing off.
That's all it is, Miles. A leap of faith.
Like, what's up, danger? Like, what's up, danger? Like, what's up, danger?